Don't you want massive tax breaks? I don't care who you are. Looking at what they're doing with your money. Look at it. Think about how hard you work. It's your money. Look what they do to your money. And he's upset about massive tax breaks. I watch this and I say, yes, give me massive tax breaks, slash the waste, fraud, and abuse, slash the fraud, slash the debt, slash the spending that's going on, and give me my friggin' money back. Elon Musk is running the show. Elon Musk, this effort to divide Trump and Musk. And of course, we have one of the worst people to crawl over the planet on the hard left, Marxists. So we have a guy here, Bernie Sanders, who wants the biggest bloated centralized government we can possibly have. For the people, of course. In the name of the people, for the good of the people. And now you see why it's not. Why it's incapable of being for the good of the people. It's the good for some of the people. And that's really what Marxism, communism is all about. It's one big lie after another, and at the top of the heap, they get rich and they get powerful. That's what they do. And that's really what Bernie Sanders stands for. If he disagrees with me, he's welcome to debate me. We've only asked him 4 billion times to come on my various formats and so forth. He won't do it, these various platforms. So let's hear what he has to say, because he's so important, so insightful, that the Constipated News Network had to have him on, CNN. Go.
When it comes to questions about who is the administrator of Doge, actually, do you believe that's an important question to have the answer?
Okay, so let's stop a minute. The administrator of Doge, we know the person in charge of the day-to-day activities in Doge is Elon Musk. We know that he reports to Donald Trump. Why is Caitlin Collins, who is a complete clown, asking that question? She doesn't really want an answer to that. She wants to give Bernie Sanders, a Stalinist, not just a Marxist, a Stalinist, an opportunity to vent. That's it. Why would you even have him on as a guest? Go.
No, the issue is not who is technically the administrator, who has the title. Elon Musk is clearly...
And wait a minute. And you're going to notice that unlike Republicans, she won't interrupt him. Go.
Running the show, the wealthiest person in the world, who has enormous confidence.
So what? So what if he's the wealthiest person in the world? That makes him possible to do what he's doing, I guess, because he knows how to run businesses. He's the wealthiest person in the world who's not taken one penny to find out what the hell's going on, all the time he's spending on this, to save the rest of us a lot of money. Tell me, when's the last time Bernie Sanders ever did that? Or who does Bernie Sanders know who could do anything like this? And so this Marxist claptrap, he's the wealthiest person in the world. This is why I reject this whole idea of populism, which is really the rich versus the poor. That's the Marxist construct. That's not what we're talking about here, the rich versus the poor. What we're talking about here is a centralized government run by a ruling class versus the rest of us, whomever we are. Go.
Who has enormous conflicts of interests.
There are no conflicts of interest. The man has a lot of money. The government contracts with him for various things. Guy's worth $400 billion. I think I read he's got about $11 billion worth of contracts. You think that's chump change to this guy? You think that's why he's doing this? To protect his interests? And how is he protecting his interests? By slashing government. The same bureaucrats are going to make decisions on whether they make deals with Elon Musk or not. Why are they making deals with Elon Musk? Because they need his technology that he developed. Because we left 2 astronauts in space who are still up there. And Boeing can't get them back. NASA can't get them back. NASA doesn't develop anything on its own anyway. It needs other companies to do it. So who is it turned to? SpaceX. Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is to be attacked for that. Elon Musk is to be attacked for what he's doing now. This is finally we have a billionaire who's actually doing something for the country in a significant way and volunteering at it while we're at it. He's no George Soros. I'm sure that's what upsets Bernie the most, who spends billions of dollars to tear down this country. Go.
Who is helping to fund right-wing extremist organizations all over the world.
What is he talking about, right-wing extremist organizations coming from this Stalinist bastard? He supports political parties that are traditional, that are conservative, that are to the right of most of the parties in Europe. It doesn't mean they're right-wing. He's trying to give you the impression that they're Nazis and so forth. That's not the case. Go ahead.
Who is looking forward to get massive tax breaks from Congress. He's running the show.
Hold on. he's looking forward to getting massive tax breaks from Congress. What does that have to do with Doge? If you want massive tax breaks from Congress, that has nothing to do with what he's doing with Doge. But whether he wants massive tax breaks or not, and I don't know that to be true, I do. Especially now. Don't you want massive tax breaks? I don't care who you are. Looking at what they're doing with your money. Look at it. Look at it. Think about how hard you work or how hard you work, you're retired. Doesn't matter. It's your money. Look what they do to your money. And he's upset about massive tax breaks. I watch this and I say, yes, give me massive tax breaks, slash the waste, fraud, and abuse, slash the fraud, slash the debt, slash the spending that's going on, and give me my friggin' money back. What's wrong with that? Go ahead.
So if he's running the show but not on paper, as they essentially argue.
Okay, wow, this is fascinating. Is he running the show but not on paper? Why does it matter? He's running the show but not on paper. Go ahead.
But you say in practice, he basically is. You're a co-equal branch of government as a senator on Capitol Hill.
I kind of thought so, but I think you have to explain that to the president.
Well, let me explain it to the president and you, moron, and your fellow moron. First of all, you hate the Constitution. You're a Marxist. You don't believe in all the separation of powers and all the rest, unless it helps you. Number two, you believe in centralized authoritarian government, iron fist down, because that's what all Marxists believe. They believe it's temporary. They lie, because that's what Marx told them to believe, and whatever Marx told them to believe, they believe. Temporary. Despotism. You may be a period of despotism, says Marx. It's right there in the Communist Manifesto, which is the least of what he wrote. He wrote a lot. He and Engels. Engels wrote a lot of it for him. But nonetheless, this is the least of it. And so now they're very, very worried about separation of powers. Now, not under Biden. Sanders is one of the ones telling Biden, and so is Warren, use the executive orders. Use the executive orders. So Trump's listening. Oh, executive orders. Use the... Biden comes in, he throws out a flurry of them, destroys our immigration system, destroys our student loan system, destroys women's sports, all through executive orders. They create DACA under Obama, Biden, totally unconstitutional, all through executive orders. And Trump comes in and said, you know what, I can do executive orders. I don't like it all, but you have to fight fire with fire. He thought they were co-equal branches, but not anymore. Excuse me. The executive branch running the executive branch determining whether the executive branch has committed fraud and has waste and abuse, the executive branch making HR decisions. What does that have to do with Congress? Seriously. Congress makes overall budget decisions and so forth, but why should a GS-13, which is a mid-level, effectively a mid-level bureaucrat, be able to make decisions where money goes, but the President of the United States, the only one who runs nationwide, he and his running mate, cannot? Isn't that stupid? Doesn't even make any sense. Go ahead.
Do you feel that you have oversight when it comes to what Elon Musk is doing?
Look, what we're seeing right now, Caitlin, is a very dangerous moment. I'm laughing here, but it is not funny. This country is moving very rapidly under Trump into an authoritarian form.
I don't want to hear Marxist Stalinists tell us about authoritarianism until he confesses to what he is. Authoritarian state. Wow. This is what they keep saying when somebody wants... Can I ask you a question? If you want to be a dictator, why would you reduce the size of government? If you want to be an authoritarian, why would you reduce your power? Why would you cut the money that you have as the dictator? Why would you upset the bureaucrats? Why wouldn't you want more of them? In other words, if you really wanted to be a dictator or some kind of authoritarian, you certainly wouldn't do what Donald Trump's doing. You'd do the opposite of what he's doing. You do the sort of things that Democrats do, that Biden did, that Obama did. You wouldn't do what Donald Trump's doing by saying, you know what, let me reduce the amount of control I have. That is, by cutting spending, by cutting the debt, by cutting the workforce. You wouldn't do that. You'd massively increase it and devour more of the civil society and devour more of the capitalist system in the private sector. In other words, you'd be Bernie Sanders.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.